Oh my God, we're live. So this is the big test now, whether this actually works. Although it's made the phone a lot more heavy now. So I don't know if I like it. Oh, I don't know if I'll the other way. It's never mind. We'll hold it this way. We'll have to get used to it. Or maybe we could sort out another mic. But I don't know. We need people, we need viewers on the stream to test if it's actually working. So this is just me talking to myself. Anyway, so the new mic seems to be working all right so far. Although I don't know if it's working all right. Like I say, it's just a plug in and see if it works really. We've got the mic covering on it. However, it's not the wind dead cat. Oh, good morning from that was Susan. Oh, Susan, I think it was. Yep. You'll have to excuse me, Susan, because as much as I'd like to look at the screen, sometimes it's a bit treacherous on the path. Oh, good morning from Kirsten. Yeah, good morning from Kirsten. I'm going to say. You have weird things above your letters, and I don't know how you pronounce them. Whether it's like a klug or crew or something like that. And someone else said good morning there as well. Good morning from Hank. Oh no, Henk. Yep, good Henk. Yep, sorry. Like I say, it's a bit hard to concentrate sometimes on the screen as well as on the path, because this isn't the easiest path to navigate sometime. Oh, just Chris. Well, nice to meet you. Good for you to join us. I have to say, am I coming in? Okay, that's my first question, because this is a massive test today of my new microphone. So we're just going to test it out and see if I'm coming in loud and clear. Like I say, at the moment, normally the wind problem doesn't occur till at least we reach the open field. As you can see, hang on, I'll just do a nice full 60 view. We'll just come down from there. Yep, loud and clear. Excellent, that's what we like to hear. Like I say, I do have a dead cat as well, or the dead squirrel, depending on what you like to call it. So like I say, we're trying it with just the normal black foam casing that you normally use on microphones. If that doesn't work, then we will put the dead cat on tomorrow and see how that works. And then if that doesn't work, what we will try then is I'll go buy a lapel mic and just strap that in and just attach it to my collar, see how that works then. But yes, anyway, like I say, this was just a massive test for this morning. So to be honest, if you've got a topic or anything like that you want me to discuss, talk about, throw it out in the chat. I'm more than happy to discuss anything this morning. You have to excuse me because it looks like the ponies. Oh Christ! The ponies have been out in force this morning, leaving their droppings all over the place. So have to excuse me. There we go. But actually, I tell you what, here's a good topic to start off this morning. Remainers. Now, like anyone who voted to remain, I suppose that classes me as a Remainer, and yeah, I am a Remainer. I'll just fully admit it. I am a dedicated Remainer. I think that leaving the EU is a complete and utter, absolute. Oops, sorry there, I got caught on the twig. Is an absolute, utter travesty. And I read a very interesting blog just last week. In fact, you'll probably see it on Tuesday. I think the video's coming out. Yep, Tuesday. I think I've scheduled that video to come out. And in it, he talks about Remainer revenge. And sometimes, let's take this as an example. You've only got to look at what's been going on in Kent, and yeah, where it is a badge of honour. Yeah, because there's going to be a time where we will be right. And, you know, we only have to let Brexit happen at that point. I've said it from the very moment of starting not only starting this channel, but talking about Brexit. You just have to let Brexit happen, and they can't hide behind the lies, because Brexit was built on lies. It was built on untruths. You know, there's just been, what, 355 million spent on a new border crossing between Northern Ireland and Ireland. I thought that was meant to be going to the NHS. Mr. Gove. See, I have to put on another accent to say his name properly. Otherwise I say Grove. But yeah, it's this part of this thing of, and we go back to what I was talking about Kent. And we said right at the beginning, you know, during the referendum, look, if this happens, there will be massive lorry pileups all over the south of England. Not just the south of England. You're talking about, we recently did the video about Hull, if you saw that, and the problems that traffic jams in Hull are going to cause to that area. So if you're a commuter in and around the Hull area, you're in for some very interesting times coming up soon. So, oh, we've got 10 people watching now and only 2 likes. Come on, hit the like button. I want to see more likes. Because, yeah, more likes we get, more people we get on the stream. That's what I like to see. So, the big... And that will cause a lot of problems. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the psychology of getting home from work early or late. I mean, in a job that I used to do last year, before I changed jobs, I used to do 8 while 4. And I'll tell you what, doing 8 while 4, what a game changer in terms of like pure psychology. I was getting home about 5 o'clock. Yeah, I hit the like, thank you for that. Yeah, I used to get home about 5 o'clock, and I'll tell you what a game changer it was, being home at 5 o'clock, or even sometimes earlier. And it would be unbelievable, yeah. Yeah, this is what I want to talk about. Yeah. Yes, we now have to let it happen. However, I resent what is to happen to the country and the good people. This is what we have to be careful of, because there is a sense I get, and I do worry about this, of what we call Remainer revenge, of people with the like, again, you can look at Kent. Kent's a perfect example of what's going on recently. And yeah, they were warned about all the traffic pileups and the possibility of having to create, you know, this lorry park that's now being built, aka the Farage Garage, which is what they should be called. I think that's an amazing campaign to call them the Farage Garages, because that's just the perfect... Ooh, hang on, yeah, there we go. I thought something had popped off my microphone there, but no, just me. I think calling them the Farage Garage is the ultimate revenge, in a way. And I think that's what we've got to look at. We've got to look at sorting out a way of getting revenge that doesn't penalise the people themselves. Because I've said this before on this channel, that you have to separate people who are the Brexiteers. And the Brexiteers, to me, are Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, Michael Gove, all the Conservatives and Labour people who were in charge and pushed for this. They're the Brexiteers. So when I say Brexiteers, that's the people who I'm talking about. However, we then come to Brexit supporters. And I know my own town, you know, Barnsley was what? We were at least top 5, but I think we were something like 80-20. when it came to the vote itself. And I know a lot of people who, in this town, if they had known the chaos of what was going to happen, they'd have never voted to leave. Some of them would never have voted at all, interestingly enough. And that's the danger about this whole revenge cycle that I'm talking about, because this could come in to some serious political stuff of where Remainers, because you look at the demographics of people who voted to remain, they were mostly the middle class, rather well-educated, well-off people. That was the Remainer demographic, and those people are a lot more politically turned on than a lot of the people who voted to remain. And that could turn into something really, really unpleasant, because turning back to Kent, yeah, it's funny to laugh at these people who, a couple of weeks ago we're in a place like this. It was a place, a car park where they could go for a walk and go out and do stuff like this. Like I am today. I'm just going to do a little twirl for you all. But yeah, like I am today, you've got to think, this is what the people in Kent are about to lose with their Farage garage. And that is a massive shame. A massive shame. And I think the idea and the temptation to laugh at them is absolutely there. I fully agree with you and support you on the fact of, yeah, it's funny to laugh at these people, but their lives and their housing prices, their daily lives, because of the amount of traffic they're now going to get, accidents that's probably going to cause on top of that as well to their daily lives. And at the end of the day, even though they voted for Brexit, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve our scorn. And yeah, it's funny to laugh at them. Really is. I do get it and I understand. And and I've chuckled myself away on this channel before about similar situations, befalling Brexiteers. But at the end of the day, we have to fight this urge to go out and take revenge. That's not what we should be about. We need to start educating people what the EU was, what it is we've lost, and what we gain from rejoining. That's what we have to start. But it's not started. It's too early to start yet. And I agree with a lot of people that it is too early to start. I think you've got to let the effects kick in. But it's still... Oh, we've got a dog joining us. Oh no. He ran straight past there. Oh no, he's coming back. Oh. Got a dog joining us now on stream. There he goes. But I think it's still too... that's the temptation to take revenge in some political way that would actively make these people's lives worse. And I think that's the deadly impulse as Remainers we have to fight, because there really is, before Brexit, who was the target demographic for the right wing to attack? Well, unemployed. How dare these, kings of people demanding such a king's ransom of living on £94 a week? How dare they? How dare they ask, for more money, saying that, they can't live on such a, a meagre amount of, £95 a week. that's the danger we've got to fight against. And I think that, you know, you will find, I've said this before about when we were talking about Majid Nawaz on the Paint and Politics live stream. Most of the people you will meet when it comes to talking about problems in the country, it's not a good idea to unite on problems. It's a good idea to unite on solutions. So one of the big things that will definitely help and benefit the working class is to get rid of 0-hour contracts. 0-hour contracts are the bane to the existence to many people in this country, and yet every single Conservative manifesto, dating back all the way back to David Cameron, maybe even before that, was targeted to do something and target about, you know, we're going to do something about 0-hour contracts. And of course, when they actually got into power, you know, they never did. And it's seen as a, you know, the Conservatives say they're against 0-hour contracts, but the fact that they've been in power so long, and now with their majority, are that their inaction can be counted as a positive, that they are fine with the current status quo of working with the middle class. You know, they're fine that the working class in this country are to be exploited with 0-hour contracts. That has been their message, and I think that's something that as Labour, regardless if you are a Remainer or Brexiteer, the solution needs to be to get rid of 0-hour contracts. You know, I have two friends who work at a local warehouse, big warehouse, ASOS. They're on 0-hour contracts, and yet you ask them, oh, how many hours did you work this week for? And that's the weird truth about this. The 0-hour contracts are awful, but you look at other European countries that have done something about 0-hour contracts, and it has helped the working class. And this is it, because there is a temptation to go as a Remainer, well, I'm just going to take revenge politically on, you know, the working class because they voted for Brexit. That's something that we need to resist. And when we're coming up into a serious economic downturn in this country. You've got hundreds of thousands of people at the moment who are on furlough, who have been, you know, let go, myself included recently, unfortunately. But, you know, nothing I could do about it, unfortunately. The government could have done something about it, but, you know, it's a Tory government. Of course they're not going to, you know, give out money to help people with. But that's the problem. That's the situation that we're in. Anyway, we'll go over some of the comments here. We'll just into the shade so I can see. Hang on, there we are. So yeah, lots of good questions by people there, and sort of analyzes what I was voting, what I was saying for. So I'm really, you know, you're such a good audience. You really are. You know, I have the best audience on YouTube, as Donald Trump would say. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So you get this bizarre, like I say, you get this bizarre situation of like we are in now. And the Tories aren't going to help anyone, especially next year. I keep on saying this to people. January next year, that's when the true Conservative agenda comes online. They've got a 80-seat majority, and that can cause a lot of trouble for the people of the working class in this country. And I genuinely hope that we can rebuild the Red Wall. That should be our aim. And I'll say it now, I do like Keir Starmer, but it does worry me about how far left he's willing to go. Hopefully, I do have some hope in the fact that he did say that the 2017 manifesto was a good starting point for Labour to start on again. Now, a lot of people, and I'll admit, there is legitimate criticism to say against him. Starmer hasn't put out any policies. And that is, to an extent, correct. Starmer at this moment hasn't put out any policies, and that is a legitimate criticism of him. And I agree that he needs to start putting out policies. However, my argument back would be to those people, what can you exactly do? You know, the Britain post 2016 and these last couple of years ain't going to come back because Brexit's going to have happened. Oh, good morning, someone there. You know, Brexit's going to happen. So the entire economy of the country is going to change almost overnight. So any policies you might introduce to reflect that are going to be all useless almost in a couple of weeks' time, a couple of months' time. Same for the recession that's coming, and the coronavirus crisis. Any policies that he could put out might be useless in a couple of months. So, what was that? Welcome in the Netherlands. Thank you very much. My only problem is I can't speak the language. that is a slight problem. I should turn my messenger off when I'm live streaming. And that's the ultimate problem I think we see from Labour at the moment. There is, don't get me wrong, Starmer has been doing good stuff in the past couple of weeks, although not completely. There's a whole issue regarding Jeremy Corbyn at the moment, and I'm going to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that today, because I still need to get more information regarding it and surrounding it. But needless to the point to say, in my opinion, is it would be a dumb move to get rid of Corbyn. Corbyn and Momentum are one of the biggest movements the Labour Party, even any party, has seen in the past years, if not decades. So getting rid of an annoying Momentum is going to be the dumbest idea Starmer could do. He'd lose a ton of voters. You know, you've only got to look and see how much Corbyn engaged and Momentum itself engaged with young voters and turned them on, probably to politics for the first time. So getting rid of that block and that core is a dumb idea. And I really hope he doesn't do it. But like I say, I need to look into the situation more regarding it. But before I talk about it more, and I think we are in an odd situation in this country because it's hard to peer into a crystal ball. However, dear viewers, today I'm going to reveal my crystal ball. Yes, although that sounds a bit. That sounds a bit suspect, that. Nearly. There we go. And I think hang on there. Starmer needs to leave Corbyn behind, but also win his former base. Exactly. You know, if you lose that base, you could lose an entire generation of voters. And to say that, you know, there was a lot of very much media press, and not only that, but there's hopefully Starmer will not stop the investigation into the fact that Labour higher-ups actively tried to stop Corbyn. I mean, that just blows my mind. It blows my mind that people higher up in the Labour Party tried to stop the Labour Party from winning. If I was Starmer, I'd be kicking those people out. I'd be pushing to get those people out. And there is a movement by Momentum to actually, at the next the conference, obviously it's conference season coming up, although whether the conferences themselves probably won't happen in person, they'll probably be digital conferences. But the idea that getting people in Momentum up to a higher level, I do not object to that. I think that would be an incredibly good idea, because either even if you did support Corbyn or you didn't support Corbyn, what happened to him in the way that the Labour Party higher-ups acted by actively trying to stop Labour from being elected, they should absolutely be gone, and there should be a full investigation into just what the hell went on. Now, looks like at the moment that what could happen. However, there are people trying to stop that for obvious reasons, because it will hurt their own faction. Now, I want to reach out to any Momentum members that might be here, because I always do like reaching out to Momentum. I like you guys, I really do. You've done a lot of good, you know, for the party in general. Now, the biggest problem you have at the moment is, obviously, your guy's not in charge anymore. Now, during you preached, we need to get behind Corbyn. I'd echo that even though a lot of the Starmer people and the old Blairites are saying, oh no, you know, we need to get behind Starmer now, I'd say get behind Starmer, but that's still no reason why you can't advocate for the policies that you have pushed and advocated for in the Labour Party. There is nothing stopping you from doing that, because you risk a Labour civil war, and at this time where we need a strong opposition, the worst thing that you can do is unintentionally start a civil war by saying, I'm not going to support Starmer. That is a bad move on your part, Momentum, and I genuinely hope that you don't do that. Oh, how's the sound, by the way? Because we're now into the open field where we normally have our sound issues. Is it a problem, or is it good? I don't know. Oh, what was that? Reasonable, excellent, good. So it looks like we've solved our sound problem. Thank you very much. What was that? I saw someone mention Sargon had won a lawsuit. You have to excuse me. You zoomed past by there. I think it was Bakura. I think it was that posted it. I haven't seen anything about that recently. But is it the one where he got sued by someone for using their video or something like that? I can't remember now. But like I say, I'm not the biggest one when it comes to Sargon law, shall we say. Like I say, yeah, it's that one. I thought she'd lose, to be honest. I genuinely did think she'd lose. I'd never talked about it back in the time, because you know it really is, talking about like a guy like Sargon is completely pointless. Yeah, he's a complete illiterate buffoon, and you know that's coming from me. But you know, there's no point talking to him. You've only got to watch his 2 debates he had with Vosh, of where, you know, he's claiming to have read, you know, Das Kapital, and yet Vosh is just schooling him on, well, if you read Das Kapital, you should know this, this, and this, but you're saying that that's not true, and you're completely misrepresenting what's in the book. Now, to be honest, I need to read Das Kapital at some point. I need to get around to it at some point. I've often found getting into political books a big, I don't know, it's just, it just seems a bit intimidating, but it's the same with history books. You know, I love a good history book, but you know what? I agree with a lot of people when they say that history books are really boring and dry. I completely agree with you on that one. There's very, very few, what I would say, good written history books. But if you want a really good written history book, I would definitely recommend Terry Jones's Medieval Lives. That, I have to say, is still my favourite history book I've ever read by him. Also, he did Who Killed Chaucer, which is, again, another very, very good book. Hoop, hoop, hoop. There we go. We're out into the field now. We'll pull up beside the lake in a couple of minutes, and we'll go through the comments, because I can see a lot of comments coming in. So I do apologise that I can't read them at the moment. The way that the sun is I can see the boxes coming up, but I can't actually see what's in the boxes at the moment. So if you do have a question or anything like that, save it for the moment. We're just coming up to a moment where we can we'll go more in depth with some more questions. In the meantime, do please like the stream, hit that thumbs up button. It does help every bit for the channel. And of course, if you would like to support the channel another way, there are links down below to my Patreon if you'd like to support the channel on a monthly basis. And of course, there's the Buy Me a Coffee link if you'd like to do a one-off donation. And that's my shilling done for today. Oh, such a nice day today. Like yesterday was a really nice day, but you know what? Today's really nice. Love it. So we're coming up to the little stream. I don't know if you've been on my streams before and you've seen me go on these walks before. You know, we normally stop by a little stream. We're just coming up to that now. But as we come into that, I want to talk about another thing that has been noticed recently: the fact that UK residents, people of UK nationalities, are fleeing to Europe. Apparently, emigration is up by 30%. Apparently. Oh, here we are. Oh, there's Madison's dog there. Don't know if you can see it. We'll let the guy and his dog play, I think. Yeah. Tell you what, there's another spot we can rest for a while. But it's such a nice dog. It's a nice border collie. He's swimming in the pond and everything. But that's an interesting thing for what we saw about the statistic I mentioned of about emigration is up by 30%. And we warned. We did warn again during the referendum that there was going to be a brain drain, and here you have brain drain in full effect. Oh, thank you there. Someone's just given me €1. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. But here we are. Nice, really nice stream. Oh, there you go. There we are. But yeah, this is a really nice stream down here. But we do talk about, and have talked about this before, why not take a dive? I don't know if it's clean enough. Although it does actually look quite nice, but we're not going to take a dive today. Although I have to say, it does look quite nice. It is quite tempting though to jump in. Like I say, it's quite a nice. It's a very warm day today, and it's only going to get warmer. But ooh, it is very tempting now. But yeah, I don't know if the stream, shall we say, is clean enough, whether it's a freshwater stream or there could be something, shall we say, running in further up the stream. So yeah, that's actually a good question from you, mate. What's my plan? Look for a job outside the UK or stay in the UK after 2020, monitor the situation on the inside. That's actually a good question. I've actually considered something I've considered. And now, of course, I've said I can't really speak any foreign languages, despite me doing German at secondary school. The only thing I can remember of from German is, let me try and get this off. Guten Morgen, mein Name ist Oliver, mein Familienname ist Hyde. Wo wohnst du? Est Barnsley? I think that's how you do it. That's the only thing I can remember from Germans. In Netherlands, we all speak English. that would actually be really helpful. But my escape plans, shall we say, would be to Ireland, to go to Dublin. I think Dublin would be a good escape plan. Sorry, I'm just having a look at the border collie. I don't know if you can see him. Oh, I think there might be. Can we see him? Is my head in the way? There he is, drying off. Oh. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very nice day today. Very nice. Apologies from Thailand for late arrival. Well, nice of you to join us, Thailand. You know. Welcome to the stream. But I think the going to Belfast is a good escape plan. I know a couple of people in Ireland through my JCI connections. In fact, I'll tell you what, we'll sit on here. This is where the log breaks and I fall right down into the water. Oh no, there we go. There we go. There we go, that's a lot better. That's not nice, a nicer background. But yeah, escaping to Dublin in Ireland is quite an attractive plan, to be honest. The other one, of course, is if Scotland does go independent, it's very, very tempting to move to Edinburgh, because I do really like Edinburgh as a city. It's one of my favourite places to go and visit. Normally, I would be around about this time booking to go to Burns Night up in Edinburgh, which is a lot of fun. For those of you who don't know what Burns Night is the celebration of Rabbie Burns, and you speak a lot of poetry, which is obviously it's old Scottish poetry. so that's the that's it. And then of course the Ceilidh dancing. Oh, gotta remember the Ceilidh dancing. So like I say, and it's, but at the same time, you know, I as someone mentioned there, they have you know, family. I think, because again, I do have family here in the UK, so it is very, very tempting. Of course, the other extreme end of the opinion is either go to New Zealand or Australia. that's the extreme end. But I think I'm taking very much the attitude of let's wait and see. I think that's the attitude that I'm going to take with it, and just we'll wait and see where we're going to go from there, because that's really what it's about at the end of the day. Sometimes if you are going to make the great escape from Brexit Britain, it's where do you go, and then where do you go, and obviously you need a job. Oh, I think there's, yeah, another dog. I don't know if you can see him in the background there. taking a dip. Where is he? He's out there somewhere. Oh, there he is. He's underneath the tree. Don't know if you can see him. Oh. Yeah, I can't blame for a dog jumping in today. But I'll tell you what, it is very tempting. And like I say, I couldn't find my trainer socks today, so I've done the true proper English thing of, you know, normal socks and trainers. But it's because I couldn't find my my thing. Go to Japan, Bakura. That's very tempting. But yeah, you're right. They have a points-based system there, and I don't know if I'd have enough points to move over there. My friend's actually just come back recently from Japan. He spent about must have been 2 or 3 years he spent over there teaching English, but he's just come back recently. But hopefully, I was going to go to Japan in November, but unfortunately that coronavirus has played to those plans of me going to Japan in November. But we've moved it forward a year, so I'll be going in November of 2021 now. So, you know, got something to look forward to, at least. I think that's the big, especially for a lot of people during this time as well. We've really, you know, we've lost a lot of stuff we'd normally do about this time. And I always say to people, you know, having something to look forward to is quite the nice thing, really. And not having it to look forward to is a bit, you know. I know lockdown has been hard on a lot of people. Back in the early 2000s, after I left university, I used to work for a mental health charity. You might know of them, Mind. I worked at one of their local branches, helping out, doing a lot of their sort of marketing and digital media. And so I'm still follow them of what they do, and I know that they've been doing a lot of stuff to try and help people out during this time, but it's been difficult for a lot of people, especially with having Zoom and things like that. I mean, having the internet, we take a lot of this for granted. And I know a lot of people took the piss out of Jeremy Corbyn for almost putting it in the manifesto, but free broadband for everyone. That would actually be quite a good idea. It would cause a massive upgrade to the system, but also it will give everyone access to the biggest educational tool online. And a lot of people, I said, I remember back in the last election, who were taking the mickey out of that argument. I always said, well, do you believe in education? The answer would be yes. So don't you think people should have access to the biggest educational tool there is, which is the internet? So, and that's how I would sort of turn people around on that free idea, because they have that in South Korea. That is the argument that got free broadband for everyone over in South Korea, because they view it as a big, massive tool for education in their country. I think that's the way we should be viewing the internet in general, as well as, you know, stuff like this. Hang on, I know the sun's in the background there. There we go, I don't know if that helps. But yeah, viewing it as an educational tool will be a massive difference to people in this country. Not only that, but you've only got to look at universal credit. Universal credit, as you may or may not know, is a complete joke in this country, but it requires people to be online pretty much 24/7 when it comes to universal credit. And it's an absolute joke, because many people in this country cannot afford the luxury of having the internet, and yet the government has set up a program that is directly targeted to sign up online. It's completely ridiculous. And yeah, you can go into the job centre and access the computers they have there, but remember that the government's been closing job centres, so now you have to travel to the job centre to access your universal credit account and do all that stuff. And like I say, to a lot of people, you know, the internet is a lot of money, and you know, you've only got to look now here, and I guarantee there have been a lot of people who haven't had the internet. I mean, I'd think if I didn't have the internet during lockdown, I think I'd have gone completely stir crazy. You know, just having that ability to be able to connect with people online, massive difference when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, it's really, really good. Oh, sorry, I'm just admiring the sun today. I could just lie out here for hours. Unfortunately, I haven't got any suntan lotion on me. I do have a tendency to burn quite bad. So, but yeah, a lovely day. But yeah, that's my argument for why, especially the internet, should be a right for people in this country, because it's an education tool, and we view education as a right in this country. Well, the internet should be free to access for people to do, and that's my definite view on that, essentially. Whoop. Oh yeah, the other thing I was talking about, because I've completely got off topic there, you'll have to excuse me. I did say that I would reveal my crystal ball. And again, I know that sounds a bit suspect. A couple of weeks ago, there was a interesting post on, what was it now? Was it Politics? Parliament Home, that was it. Parliament Home, that was it. It was by a very committed Brexiteer saying that Britain should ditch the withdrawal agreement. And this is going to be the next step in the Brexit saga. The idea that we should ditch completely and truly the withdrawal agreement. And you can't really, because it's an international agreement that we've signed. We'd become international pariahs overnight. It would be absolutely ridiculous for us to ditch such an agreement. I mean, you know, it'd be absolutely unbelievable, but there you go. That's what these Brexiteers want to do, make the UK a complete international pariah. But of course, this goes back to well before Boris Johnson got elected, because these Brexiteers and the ERG were conspiring to say that the withdrawal agreement could be ditched. And this goes all the way back to David Davis. If you remember him saying, "Oh yeah, we'll sign the withdrawal agreement, and then yeah, we'll ditch it and get rid of it." You know, it's unbelievable. But this has worryingly, very worryingly, become a more concerted push in the past couple of weeks. And you're going to see this more and more and more as this momentum to try and ditch the withdrawal agreement, regardless of whether we get a deal or not, gets completely thrown out. You only saw recently Ian Duncan Smith, or Ian Dunkin' Donuts Smith, which I think is a wonderful nickname for him, stood up in Parliament and said, we should get rid of the withdrawal agreement because it no longer represents our sovereign nation. And you're like, wait, what do you mean? And they were saying there was stuff in the withdrawal agreement that he didn't know was in there. And you're like, whoa. Step back, IDS. You're talking crazy talk here. You were one of the MPs who stood up in Parliament and said that the withdrawal agreement did not need to be scrutinised because, quote, we could renegotiate it afterwards. And of course, as usual, the EU turned around and said, no, once you sign the withdrawal agreement, you can't renegotiate it. And yet, here we are now, a concerted effort and a really concerted push to actually get rid of the withdrawal agreement. And that blows my mind. It really does. It blows my mind. I can't believe that we're sitting here 4 years later and still Brexiteers are terrified to actually try and define what Brexit means. Of course, they can't define what it means because that was the plan from day one, be as vague as possible. Remember, a valid leave option was to stay in the customs union and single market. To quote Daniel the Brain Hanan, only a fool talks about leaving the single market. And yet, you can find videos of him and tweets recently saying how much it is important for us to leave the single market. So how's everyone else doing today? Good, I hope. Have you all been to eat out to help out? You have. And then remember, go and get your Boris bike voucher because you're all fat and need to exercise. Yeah. That's the yeah. That's the government's line. Remember, go go have money off this month to go and eat out. Here's £10 off Wagamama's. Said no, thank you. Said no poor person ever. Oh, I just saw someone there from Hungary. How are things in Hungary, by the way? I know it's a very, very difficult time, especially if you're a leftist in Hungary, with Orban. Not is it? Yeah, Orban. Yeah, I want to say it right. Yeah. So to my my leftist brothers and sisters in Hungary, you have my support. Oh, such a nice day today. It really is. It's going to be a day where I just sit and do nothing. Yeah. I'm going to sit in the garden and do nothing. Although I might do some painting. I might finish off those minis I started. For those of you who didn't see it, the minis turned out quite nice actually. Really nice dark shade of purple. So on top of them I just need to start layering the different metallic colours on top of them. And they should turn out quite nice. And then I'm a bit worried about maybe putting the shader on top of them, the null oil, because that does turn the colours a lot more darker, but the purple is already quite a dark, so I'm a bit worried to see how that purple, if it survives. But we'll see. Like I say, it's a bit of an experiment. It's going to be an experiment for the whole army. But we'll see. Yeah, I know we've got a couple of Dutch people in chat, which is good. You know what we need? We need another, as we call it in the UK, the glorious revolution, or as they call it in the Netherlands, the invasion of Great Britain. I love it. We deny it. We deny that we were invaded so much. We just call it a glorious revolution. That was, and of course, William of Orange came and was, quote, invited to be king. And of course, he happened to bring his entire army with him as well, because that's what happens when you get brought over to be king. You get to bring your armies as well. Oh. Another dog. Again, such a nice day today. I've often thought about getting a dog, but I don't know what I'd get. I've often thought about getting a beagle and calling it Biggles, Biggles the Beagle. A friend of mine recently got a retired or an ex greyhound called Rose, which is really nice, really nice dog. But again, I don't know what I'd get. Really don't know what I'd get. So has the sound been quite good? I hope it has been. Oop. Oop. So at least we know the microphone has been a success. Ooh, just go in the shade here for a bit. Ooh. 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 Tell you what, it is a warm day today. Ooh, I can feel it now. It's getting even warmer now. Changed completely from where we were at the start of the stream. I can feel the heat now. Oh, I should have bought a drink or some water with me because I'm gasping. I'm gasping. Oh. Well, I think we've reached the natural end there today. I don't know what else to talk about unless anyone's got another topic. But yeah, anyway, thank you for joining us today. It's been absolutely fantastic for you to join us today. Like I say, please do subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and you'll get to see more wonderful videos of me talking about Brexit and British politics if you like that type of thing. And yeah, thanks for joining us today. It's been wonderful. The experiment with the microphone has been a rounding success, which is what we were hoping for today. Yeah, so thank you for today. I am probably going to go home now. Maybe. Oh, should I get some? No, it's too early to drink. It's far too early to drink. You're late. Oh well, I'm sorry for the late arrivers. But yeah, this is just a random stream, and I do promise in future to be more give more warning about my live streaming. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. It's been an absolutely wonderful walk. Thank you for joining us on it today, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you all soon. Yeah, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. You know, if you can't be safe, be sensible. We'll see you all soon.